All right, so let's talk about transitioning to a more healthy, more plant-based diet. Right here in the background, I'm actually going to be making a salad, and just quickly in the salad, I'm going to have some kale, some spinach, some of whatever that lettuce is, and then I'm also going to have some nuts like almond walnuts and chia seeds, and then I'm going to have an apple. Normally have tomato in there, but I didn't have any tomato, and then some lemon juice, and I don't know what else it is, but it's all going to be in the background so you can follow along with this salad making if you'd like. But without further ado, I'm going to get on to talking about transitioning to a vegan diet. And so I'm going to mostly refer to my experience. I first became a vegetarian, and I became a vegetarian when I was about 12 years old. And so that was really more of an abrupt change. I just all of a sudden decided to be a vegetarian. And it was difficult at first, especially being young. I wasn't buying my own groceries, so I ate what was on the table, and just whatever wasn't meat is what I ate. And eventually, my parents adapted to my new eating habits after a year or two. But it took some time. So if you're young, you're just gonna have to be patient. Learn to cook your own meals. That will definitely help you out. But then skip ahead about 8 years into college. I started transitioning very slowly to veganism, to eating more plants and less dairy. And so the way I did it is that I just slowly started to buy less and less dairy. So when I went to go to the grocery store, sometimes I would buy cheese, sometimes I wouldn't. And then eventually it got so rare to buy cheese that I didn't even think about it, and I just stopped buying cheese. Same thing with milk. And I tried to switch to plant-based milks, but they just weren't my cup of tea. I really don't like the taste of the plant-based milk. So I just slowly weaned off of using cheese and milk, or any other kind of dairy product like eggs or butter. And I replaced butter with oils like coconut oil or olive oil. But at any rate, the key was a slow transition for me. I was the complete opposite of a instant transformation to veganism. I transitioned over a period of 2 years. And really, after the first year, since I was already vegetarian, transitioning a good amount of the way was pretty easy for me. I had pretty much stopped buying dairy and cheese and eggs and butter within a year. And then after that, if I was going to have any dairy, it was when I was eating it with friends. Maybe I would go and I would get a milkshake, or I would have some pizza with my friends. But I would never actually buy dairy at the grocery store. So speed up about another year, and now I've started to rule out completely buying dairy when I'm with my friends. So whenever I get a pizza with my friends, I ask for it without cheese on it. And whenever I get ice cream, I'll get the plant-based milk ice cream. So really that's the biggest thing. It's just a slow transition. And if you transition slowly and just incorporate more fruits and vegetables onto your plate and less meat and less dairy over time, it's going to be a much easier transition for you. And you probably have a much higher success rate also. With that being said, what you do need to realize is that since you're switching to more plants, since you're eating more plants and less meat and dairy, which meat and dairy are very calorie thick, you're going to have to take in a lot more food because fruits and vegetables are a lot less calorie dense. Whereas, for example, maybe this avocado, which I'm cutting up, it's not, it's like a medium calorie density. It has about 200 calories per avocado. But you have to eat a whole lot more than what you're used to. And you'll get used to it, but it will take some time. So you really are going to have to push yourself and eat more than what you want, or you're just going to have to eat in greater frequency. But a lot of people, when they transition to a vegan diet, will complain about not having a lot of energy, and they'll complain about being depressed or just not having the motivation to go throughout their day. That's most likely because they're simply not eating enough. They'll switch to a vegan diet and they'll think that all they can eat are carrots and bananas, and that's simply not the case. We eat so much awesome food. You just have to go out there and explore and experiment and take your time. There's no need to rush. It's better to have a successful transition into veganism than like a couple days being a vegan and then just giving up. Some other common deficiencies when people are transitioning to a vegan diet can include B12, and that's a supplement really everybody should be taking. B12, the way it works is you actually don't get it from animals. Animals don't make B12. B12 comes from when, say, you're gardening and you eat a carrot right out of your garden, and there's some dirt still left on the carrot. In that dirt, there contains some bacteria which will break down the minerals that you're eating, and those bacteria will turn those minerals into B12. So it's really the soil, the bacteria in the soil, that makes the B12. And that's why animals have B12. It's because they're eating, for example, grass. And in that grass, there's some soil, and in that soil, there's bacteria, the cows will eat that bacteria, and then that bacteria will make B12 inside of the cow's body. And so we can make our own B12. Well, we can't make it, but if we were to all have a garden in our backyard, then we wouldn't need to supplement with B12. However, that's not the case. So you should supplement with B12 unless you're gardening, which would be great. Another common deficiency is iron deficiency. However, that is easy enough to fix. You just have to eat more greens. And other than that, this is just a down and dirty quick intro to eating more plant-based diet. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video as much as I enjoyed that salad. It turned out pretty well. And that's pretty much it. That's the video. And I hope you learned something from it. I hope it will help you with your transition to a healthier lifestyle in 2018. And I'll definitely post more videos